In the world of business, the line between genius and disaster is razor thin. Today, we'll look at the bold decisions, some arrogant, some naive, that led to billions of dollars going up in smoke. These aren't just mistakes, they're cautionary tales. In 1985, Coca-Cola decided to fix what wasn't broken. They replaced their legendary formula with a sweeter version, New Coke. Consumers revolted. It wasn't just a bad product, it felt like a betrayal. Coca-Cola pulled the plug after just 79 days, losing tens of millions and nearly destroying the brand's image. Samsung's Galaxy Note 7 launched with fanfare and cutting-edge specs until devices began spontaneously catching fire. The problem? A battery flaw that turned their flagship phone into a global hazard. Samsung issued 2 recalls and eventually scrapped the product entirely. The damage? Over $5 billion and a scar on their reputation. IBM once ruled the tech world, but in 1980, they made a deal with the small startup Microsoft to provide software for their PCs. Crucially, IBM let Microsoft keep the rights. While IBM faded, Microsoft turned that software into the backbone of the PC revolution and became a trillion-dollar empire. Kodak invented the first digital camera and hid it. They feared digital would cannibalize their film sales. Instead of leading the revolution, they clung to the past. As the world went digital, Kodak stood still and filed for bankruptcy in 2012, losing their dominance and billions in value. In 2000, Netflix approached Blockbuster with an offer, buy us for $50 million. Blockbuster laughed. Fast forward, Netflix became a global entertainment titan. Blockbuster? Just a nostalgic memory with one surviving store. A multi-billion-dollar empire lost to pride and short-sightedness. eBay thought Skype would revolutionize how people shopped voice calls with sellers in real time. But users never wanted to talk. Just click and buy. eBay paid $2.6 billion and sold Skype for less than half, eating a billion-dollar loss. Before Apple, Steve Jobs worked at Atari. He was intense, unfiltered, and brilliant, but management didn't want to deal with him, so he left. And went on to build the most valuable company on earth. Atari? It's a name in history books. In 1998, Yahoo could have bought Google for $1 million. They passed. Years later, they tried again at $3 billion and still walked away. Today, Google is worth over $2 trillion. Yahoo? A cautionary tale and missed chances. In the early 2000s, Nokia was the king of mobile phones. But as Apple and Android redefined smartphones, Nokia clung to outdated software. They ignored Android, and it cost them everything. Quick bites, big money. That was Quibi's pitch. Mobile, only short-form shows. But users didn't show up. After burning $2 billion and lasting just 6 months, Quibi became the shortest-lived streaming disaster ever. Revlon based a massive campaign on an endorsement from Princess Diana without securing her approval. She declined. The campaign collapsed. Their competitor took the spotlight. When Apple launched its own Maps app, users were greeted with warped bridges, missing towns, and impossible routes. The backlash was so strong that Apple publicly apologized, a rare move from the tech giant. NBC wasn't impressed by the pilot of The Office. It tested poorly. Executives almost pulled the plug. Now it's one of the most watched shows in history and a licensing goldmine. British Airways outsourced its baggage handling to cut costs. The result? A PR nightmare. Thousands of bags lost. Passengers furious. The savings? Erased by the reputational damage. Gap unveiled a new logo in 2010. The internet hated it. In just 6 days after thousands of complaints, they went back to the old one. Sometimes, tradition wins. The Cambridge Analytica scandal exposed just how recklessly Facebook handled user data. Trust was shattered. Facebook's stock plunged, and they were dragged into global investigations. Zune was Microsoft's answer to the iPod. It had the tech but no soul. It launched late, with clunky branding, and quickly disappeared. Microsoft lost its shot at music dominance. While Amazon dominated online sales, Toys R Us stayed stuck in brick and mortar. By the time they caught up, it was too late. The toy giant filed for bankruptcy in 2017. A holiday ad meant to inspire instead felt awkward. Critics called it sexist and tone-deaf. The fallout? Peloton stock dropped $1 billion in just 3 days. BP's cost-cutting led to one of the worst environmental disasters in history. The Deepwater Horizon rig exploded, spilling millions of barrels of oil. It cost the company $60 billion and their reputation. JCPenney tried to go upscale, ditching discounts for boutique style. Customers didn't follow. Sales plunged. The CEO was fired, and the old strategy returned too late. Clear cola with no caffeine? Pepsi thought it was innovation. Customers thought it was weird. It vanished quickly, becoming a punchline in branding failures. Once the king of social media, MySpace failed to evolve. Facebook moved in with cleaner design, better features, and stole the world. A juicer that needed Wi-Fi and couldn't even squeeze fruit. Users realized they could squeeze the packets by hand. Investors lost $120 million. These weren't just expensive mistakes. They were moments where pride, timing, or bad judgment changed the fate of billion-dollar empires. The lesson? In business, no one is too big to fail. Let us know which story shocked you the most, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-world lessons in ambition, error, and redemption.